I can't believe that conversation is still happening. I just, you know, at this point,
I know.
let's forget about it. Yeah, maybe let's make him the actual ball that does disappear. This isn't sleight of hand. It's just gone.
Well, the comeback surely, eventually, at some point, is going to have to be super exceptional. Like, they should do one of those Undertaker, bring him out in a coffin filled with smoke kind of things, you know, like no announcement up until the minute he's on the stage, you know?
Yeah.
It's got to be something like that. We've been waiting, and we're still waiting. But this game, I mean, I don't know. I actually think for once, Astralis looked like they're a more interesting team. I feel like it's been...
Really?
I do feel like at the end of the last season, I felt like there was more. At the major, it felt like they did way better than I was expecting. Certainly. Maybe I just had really low expectations, but...
I could be looking too much into it. It could just be a matter of business where they just didn't want to pay any kind of buyout fees or do any kind of move from a business angle, but... I feel on some level that Cologne performance, the top 4 of the semifinals, is like a trap. Like it's like that's the kind of performance that can make you feel like you're headed in the right direction, like everything's going well, like everything's improving, but it's just fake. It's not. But yeah, I don't know what other options they might have at the moment.
It could be that. Yeah, maybe I'm tricking myself. I guess we'll find out. That's why we're broadcasting the game after all. We're here to learn.
Yeah, I'm pumped. On the other side of things, I still, with NIP, as I mentioned, I think Hampus is one of the most interesting in-game leaders we have in the scene at the moment, especially his ability to still provide fragging impact. Obviously, the whole conversation around Device also transfers over to S-Tag with his kind of transition into the op role, and obviously the other big one too is Brolin coming into this roster and his continued development and his continued comfort level within this team.
Yeah, some big questions on either side, and they're about to be answered here. There's another best of one, so grueling start here to the fall season. No mistakes can be allowed. You can see the frosting is up and ready. They can't see each other, obviously. That's important in the middle of the game. And we're live. We're going to get into it, and it'll be on Overpass to start with Astralis on the T side, with NIP on the CT side.
Ooh, very avant-garde map to pick in a best of one. I like it. Both teams feeling frisky. 4-man stack towards the B-bomb site for NIP early. Not any kind of a fast-paced play from Astralis, so Hampus is going to start rotating off. Rez has got to be careful he doesn't get stuck here. And he's put himself in a position where he's able to fall back. Nice feel, nice timing as well. They just come up the stairs as he sinks back into the A-bomb site. No information yet for NIP, other than quiet at the B-bomb site. S-Tag has just cleared off sandbags towards the short water.
Oh, and Rez is going to get the first point of contact here. Config on the other side, jumping and shooting around that flower pet, but he gets absolutely knocked out. Rez with a great USP headshot, but behind him, the bomb side is falling, and that's a problem. Bomb is going to be planted. 4 versus 3 now. S-Tag coming up that connector to try and see if he can wrap around, and he will. Taking down Blamef. What a nice shot. Yeah, really good shot. Even spots out Glaive's position. There's the peek. Can't find that kill. Rez coming back towards long. The retake is going to be slow. It's starting to get in a position where they can actually pull the trigger, but there's a kid on Plopsky. He's alone, and he's forced back. He's got 2 Astralis defenders to deal with. Yeah, so they really badly need that defuse kit to make it up there. And it's just we say it, Plopsky goes down, so the kit is lost for the minute. S-Tag trying to go for the full 10-second defuse, but that's going to be rudely interrupted. Farlig will take him down, and Astralis, they win the pistol. Yeah, Plopsky being isolated really kind of reduced the options that NIP had in the retake. A bit rough. Nicely done from Astralis, even losing config out towards long, still able to progress through dice boxes and through the truck into a plant at the A site. 1-0 for the Danish side. Yeah, they're gonna be loving that start. Even if they lost the early kill out there to Rez, they kind of knew where he was. He couldn't really get back into the action the same way that he wanted, so Astralis are all right with it. Gonna be a triple boosted down here, but that is already spotted out. Blamef is just waiting for the kill to be his. Spinning around, and now they know where everyone is. That's a full 5-man read. Takes 3 to boost, and they saw the other 2 at the L-bend, so anyone can do the math. Oh. Not anyone. I had so many names I want to pull out in this moment.
Do it.
You, but
name them.
No, it's too early, Jason.
Come on, just one. You have so many names. Give us just the one person you know that can't count.
Well, that's... listen, according to recent interviews, that's you, Jason. I was going to say DDK, you know, but only because I love Dan so much. timeout. Technical one.
Yep.
A bit early for tactical timeouts, really. But they clean up the round, and yeah, that triple boost I feel like has been used so much recently that
It's coming back in style.
yeah, like, and then now the problem is that you're getting the hard diminishing returns. Everyone's looking for it.
Yeah.
Which Brazilian team is doing this all along in Cologne? I'm trying to remember now, but
Double O Nation.
yeah, I think it was Double. You're right. Yeah.
Could I have said any Brazilian team there, and you would have said, "Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right."
Yeah. Could have probably even said a non-Brazilian one. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, those guys too.
Good point. Mouse sports, yeah, they do it all the time. But yeah, I think they were heavily exploiting some of those boosts down to the B-bomb side on this particular map. So I feel like everyone's been made aware that it's a thing once again. And that's fine. I guess that's how the metagame evolves.
Look at that frosted glass. Clears up between each round, so you can talk some smack. Look deep into the soul of your opponent.
I think it's a huge addition to the game. Apex is doing a little bit, but I'm sure we could see more of it. Maybe we need, like, now here's some content. We need to fly in Taz and teach the younger generation how to do some of the smack talking.
Okay.
Like a little bit of a coaching session, you know?
Yeah, sure. Pass his worldly experience on to the next generation.
Yeah, we can't let that kind of talent go to waste, you know?
What if we just brought in like a dedicated shit talker for each team? Like Taz is on one team. Here's another good one that we could bring in.
We've had some pretty good Danish ones. Danish Orca free, please.
Okay.
It's pretty good at that.
Put him on the other side.
Yeah, got some. There's people out there, I'm sure.
A new roster position. Teams are now 7 players. One of them just talks smack the entire time.
Yeah. Just to get the energy up and running. I like that.
Brolin's aggressive towards Fountain, the only player here. S-Tag back towards Khan, our divider. First kill for Brolin. That's bomb hitting the deck, and he can stick a... Ooh, the Molotov is burning. He didn't take any damage from bullets. I thought that was going to make him so much more comfortable, but now it's awkward. Now he's got to hope and pray, and a nade puts him down.
That's... What a Molotov. That, I mean, you could see it, that they were lining it up, but the fact that it kind of covers both sides of that box is crazy.
It spread way farther than I think Brolin expected. And obviously way further than he desired. 48 seconds on the clock. Plopsky, excuse me, has a smoke. Reds has a flashbang. Those are the only nades for the entirety of the NIP team.
Yeah, that's a bit of an issue. 40 seconds now, and they're starting to make their way down through the connector. Going to be hitting this B bomb side, which is about to have 3 people on it. Hampers, he's got the right read. He knows what's coming, and they're going to be getting that early defense. So now their nades, they matter a lot less.
Oh, Farley taking a lot of damage. There's a good find from Config. Rez gonna turn the corner. They don't have resources to stop this, or do they? BlameF just holding for it. 2-on-2, Molotov, but Hampus is already out of the position. Once again, coming up sandbags. S-Tag stops the plant, and that should be the round. 1v2 for BlameF.
Oh, that is so scary. S-Tag with the perfect timing there, but that initial peak, I think it was Plopsky, I think he went for it expecting for them to already be planting the bomb in that moment, but there was about 15 seconds left, so they weren't quite doing that yet. They almost lose the round of that. That's horrifying. Just
the constant repeaks from NIP, like even though they end up losing a decent amount of players with it, I think 2 players taking those fights, the timing of them just never makes Astralis feel comfortable getting that bomb planted. First round for NIP on the board. Astralis fully invest everything they've got. 2 AKs, a Galil. Deagle and Mac-10 for the Astralis loadout.
Okay, feeling like they could put a lot of pressure on. They're not wrong about that either. 1,400 bucks on Brolin, and that's about it on that NIP side. So if they win this one, it's going to be huge. Config, he's got the right read, he's got the right position, and Brolin not even close to ready for it. He probably should have been dead. That could have been the end of his life, and maybe a great start for Astralis, but they managed to sneak away just. Hampers still hanging around the connector, so he's got a very central position to do some real damage here. He's hearing this. Worried he's going to get flashed. You could see him turning around for it, but he's actually got some really good timing for it. We'll see if he can actually connect it. Ooh, comes back just as they both peak, so I take it all back. Timing not at all working out for Hampers.
No, not even a little bit. Stag's going to back up deep into the bomb site. No one from Astralis outside of B. So NIP has 3 defenders there for the moment as Brolin's kind of flirting between the 2 bomb sites, but Doesn't really know where the attack is going to come. 34 seconds on the clock. Zipic's going to give up control of staircase and over towards A we go, where S-Tag is playing retake. There's not enough utility to pull off a retake. There's only the one kit on res. And if NIP doesn't shift someone over to actually try and defend this bomb site, I think they've just got to give it up once Astralis pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's either that or S-Tag is going to get a triple kill right now, because anything short of that is probably not going to be possible. Great little run. Not even that much utility behind it. And NIP already making the call. It's not worth it. So 3-1 in favor of the Astralis side, and this attempt to buy into the round working out really well. Keeping the pressure on and forcing NIP into a very uncomfortable position.
We got some time to kill, so I want to ask you a question.
Oh dear.
Astralis was eliminated from the first European RMR just this past week.
True.
Does that make you nervous? That's my question.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It actually does. Because I just think all the RMRs are just difficult to make their way through, even at the best of times right now. It's hell on earth to be trying to qualify that way. So
I don't know. Not if you're. Do you see the tweet from Halzerk after he qualified with complexity? He's like, man, I don't miss the European RMRs. He gets to play. He's over in NA playing on easy mode.
Well, maybe that's the way to go.
He's having a good time.
The Europeans have found a loophole. Like, sweet. We get over here, the food's better.
World domination. The food is better over there.
It's true. I can vouch for it. Here we go, 5th round. And NIP. Making the call early and being able to save all the rifles is great. But now they have to put those rifles to great use in this round. Or it won't really make that much of a difference.
Yeah, and on overpass, when you go down, 4-1, running out of money, or 5-1 on the scoreboard, that starts to make you feel real nervous. It's not a deficit you want to be at early on. Rolling and stairs. Good flashbang. Can't connect the shots onto Farlig. Nade comes in deep. He goes for one more fight. He's being boxed in, and he knows it. Zipic's coming from behind. Oh, he somehow finds a 1-for-1. Good stuff from Brolin. The bare minimum.
Yeah, but also looking just a bit shaky. That first opening kill with the flash setup, that would have been perfect. He probably could have had that one right away. Not quite able to connect it. And obviously, the dream of picking up an AWP on the CT side is going to be a little bit away still. Whereas, nice opening or follow-up, I guess, on the SIP, taking him down and connector and trying to get back out, get away back to help out the B bomb site, which he's going to be able to do. Long-range fight. Hampers taking down Config. Haven't had to say Config's name that much yet. Just a single kill so far in the first 5 rounds. And now it's a 2-on-4. So this is looking amazing right now for the NIP defense. Running out of time as well on top of everything else. Blamef's going to take quite a bit of a tough battle there, but he's able to take down Plopsky still. With only 10 seconds left, there should be absolutely no way those bullets are flying right over his head. Rez, ice cold on the other side, not giving away the game.
Good play. He's going to cut off Blamef, and he wins that fight as well. Heads up from Rez. Farley giving away the game with that spam coming through, but cutting off Blamef right at the end of the round is beautiful. All the weapons taken away from Astralis, and NIP in a decent position. Well, they at least avert disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I think this really, they needed this one to slow down the Astralis side just a bit. Still curious to see if they're going to be able to start to pick up an AWP. We've seen S-Tag in the past AWPing for this NIP team, and I don't know if I ever think of him as like a, someone we want to talk about in terms of dedicated offers, but he's got some pretty credible rounds with it. Doesn't seem like it's a huge deficit to them.
I think Cologne was maybe the first event where I saw taking a positive direction, right? He started to seem like a little bit more confident. He was taking more aggressive plays. He was actually trying to go search for impact and everything, which was great to see. That was one of the big criticisms levied against him as an AWPer leading into the event.
True. So
I mean, I guess out of the break, we just get to see if that's going to continue.
Hopefully it will. They might end up needing it. Wow, we're picking up the mechanical
the mic clicks. Yeah, we're right in there. If you ever want to be on the ground zero of professional Counter-Strike, you've got it with mechanical keyboard clicks. I bought a keyboard in Germany for our long stay there to play some games.
Oh yeah?
and it's a German keyboard, has all the German characters on it. I'm still using it at home for some reason, but it's a very loud keyboard. It's like one of those typical RGB gamer keyboards.
They swap around the Y and the C, don't they?
Yeah.
Like, it's very confusing.
It's messed up when I'm like typing on like Google Word and I'm trying to like use all the shortcuts and I'm just like, wait, this doesn't make sense.
There's only one solution: to learn German, obviously.
Yeah.
That'll solve the problem for you right there.
Yeah. I thought about switching the keyboard out, but learning German does seem like the easier route to take.
There we go. Problem solved. Unlike the technical problems, which are still being worked on. But yeah, I think this is it's looking like a good start, and this is overpass. So you know, sometimes good starts on those T sides can really spiral out of control for the CT side.
Well, that's why I think this previous win for NIP was such a good one, because not only obviously a win is great to put another round on the board, but that was a round where they had no more money behind it. You know, they had kind of salvaged what they could leading into that round, and if they had lost there, all the money's taken away. And yeah, that's when you normally see T sides kind of blow up and balloon out of control on overpasses, when they have economic control and money control for like a good stretch, especially in the early going where you just can never get your defense settled, never get your feet beneath you. So NIP at least avoid having to deal with that level of adversity. And this is a round where they probably feel like they should build up some bank, although it's pretty dangerous one from Astralis. I would look for a set piece with all these Tech 9s, all this utility. They might spread out a little bit initially, but you got to feel like, you know, I think the bread and butter under the Astralis name would be a very powerful B execute here with these Tech 9s.
They have at least one great round that I remember with Tech 9s, Jason. On train.
Shut up. You shut your mouth.
It's been a minute. Been a minute since we've seen Train as well. Maybe that's something that could make its way back at one point.
I miss Train. I love Train.
I really like Train too, but I wonder if it's just all nostalgia now. It's been so long, but I do. It used to be one of my probably only outdone by Nuke in the past for me. But yeah, I agree. I mean, surely it is going to be some. Yeah, they're doing all the research right now, figuring out is anyone from NIP far up on the A side of the map. If not, we're going to go back and then we're going to throw the flashbangs and run for it.
Yeah, they're making sure that the defense is not being aggressive. They want to make sure that there's no information for NIP, like someone pushed up towards long that would allow them to stack 4 players at this B bomb site. So they're going to fall right into it. And now NIP is trying to deny space with Rez close up at this monster angle. Let's see how it works out. Smoke clears, double kill for Rez. That's huge. That should actually just straight up put a stop to this round. Astralis don't even get to pull the trigger on the tactic they called, already backing away, but you're gonna have to eventually go forward. 30 seconds left on the clock.
If there was a rewind and sort of, you know, repeat button here for the round, it'd be interesting to see what happens if they do kill Rez in that tunnel, or even just trade him 1-for-1. Because I'm assuming at that point they pull the trigger and just try to go all in. 10 seconds on the clock and not even a bomb plant in this one. Going to be a little bit of damage onto a couple of players on the NIP side, but that is about it. So super well done from NIP's point of view. This is exactly what they wanted.
Yeah, all 5 players survive, get to build up a little bit of money. You know, another strong buy for Astralis is coming in here. Astralis probably had the money to force buy if they really wanted to, but just take a little bit of a breather, let the money build up on their own side as well. So some economic decisions for both teams, powerful economies for both teams. Only Blame F going to be relegated back to the MAC 10. 3-3.
Who picked? Did Maniac pick Astralis, I believe, and maybe one other person? I feel like there was a lot of enthusiasm for NIP in pick him so far. Oh, Roland. That one doesn't spread, and now he's got a little bit of backup. Going to be blowing up the door. That should take a fair bit of attention away from Sip and the rest in there. Yeah, they're worried about it. Flash to set it up, but he's going to swing against nobody. They were already behind cover.
Blowing up that door is just so strong right now. It's such a difficult thing to deal with for the T sides because it just allows, there's so many different ways to be dangerous. Some of them just spam, some of them the boost over. As we saw, there's a couple different boosts you can get to peer into that deep angle. Good kill from Rez as he goes hunting. And gonna back off as well. And again, because of that door being blown open, remember there were 2 players in that hallway, in that underpass for Astralis, and they give it up. They back all the way off. It's just Zipix there, and he's not being aggressive whatsoever.
And losing that outside of B presence when Blameth goes down is just super devastating. I think he had the MAC 10 as well, so hard fight for him to win, even if it's up close like that. Another good flashbang. The first one in the connector tunnel didn't really do anything, but this one, it absolutely obliterates Farlake, and he's no more. 25 or 35 seconds left, and it's a 3 versus 5. NIP, if they win this battle, it's not even going to be around here. glaive will finally take a little bit back, but they know what's coming. They still have another 2 people at this bomb site, even after losing 1 out long like that, and I don't think Astralis are ready for that. Normally, we've seen this a lot already in this first half here. It's just a single A defender with, you know, a second guy who's kind of floating between the bomb sites. This time they had 3 people ready.
Well, I mean, that's all born from the fact that 2 players, and Rez gets that kill clearing out the short water, finding that Mac 10 early on. Right here, after this, NIP's like, okay, well, we know the kind of the players over towards the door got forced back once we blew it open. We know the water is clear now, so yeah, everyone pay attention over towards the A bomb site. There's layers to that as well. The setup with Brolin underneath the sign. Hampus is able to chuck out a pop flash, which nets him a kill, but even if it doesn't get the kill, it's information gained, right? So they have some different options for that A defense to make sure it's as solid as possible. Good nade early on. glaive and Farlig brought down to near-death territory.
Yeah, no Kevlar vest, so guess the shrapnel just, I don't know, the clothes doesn't stop it that much.
Nah, probably not.
Wool versus, I don't know.
Kevlar?
Yeah, probably better. You have to try and go the Iron Man route to get the shrapnel, stop it from, you know.
Okay, well, yeah, magnets.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if glaive or Farlig could be like a superhero, but Blameth could. You know, he could. He's got the build for it, you know.
He does, but I mean, you know, Captain America was a little bit more scrawny when he started. You know, you don't give the superpowers to the guy who's already strong. You got to give it to the guy who's experienced weakness.
That's fair. I can get behind that. Roland out here. Ooh, an HE kill as well. They don't lose a single player again. Just what a turnaround. Surely, if we looked at a graph for just the money so far in this first half for NIP, it would have been a bit of a downswing, and now it's just rocketing back up again.
And I think that's a small detail that probably doesn't get talked about in terms of the impact it can have from the other angle, right? Is how good are you at your save rounds of eliminating a couple players, of limiting that economy, of chipping away at it? Because this is now 2 times. Hold on, I want to see if we can get anything from this. Oh no, they're speaking Swedish and Danish.
I think
I was trying to give you some audio to hear to translate.
Yeah, I wish I could. I should be able to help out even on the Swedish front, but I'm afraid that's just not one of my strengths. I'm sorry. I will say this though. I think they said S-Tag was starting to learn Swedish like a week into the team or something. He just already committed to doing that, which is kind of crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, how far off is it? I don't know these things as an American.
It depends on who you ask. For me, it's unintelligible nonsense. But it is obviously fairly related. So I'm just probably lazy. Yeah, probably maybe. There's some evidence to that.
Well, I mean, if you tell me Swedish is unintelligible nonsense, that to me sounds like they should be pretty close, because Danish is the most ridiculous language to listen to.
It's true. We got the whole minus thing going on. I like it.
Round 9, 5-3 lead for NIP. Defense holding real strong. This is 4 in a row.
Put it like this, Jason. I used to be on NIP, and I never even considered learning Swedish. Oh, here we go. Plopsky, even flashed. Gonna be able to take down Blameth. He committed that fight, though, and the flashbang did seem like it was good. It seemed like it could have been enough to kill Plopsky.
And that was designed to activate Blameth as well. That was entirely how glaive was setting him up from sandbags. Chucking flashbangs over to clear an angle to blind a defender at certain specific positions so that Blameth can have some freedom for the fight, and Plopsky just finds it completely blind anyways. 5 on 4. No flashbangs left for Astralis. 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs.
And almost no map presence at the moment here. They're sort of being shrunk down into this position outside of the B-bomb site, which again, if you get the opening kill, you can crack Rez down here at the tunnel. It's going to be different, but he's not taking the bait even. He just wants to wait for it. 20 seconds left in a 4 on 5, and it looks like they're just going to back on out. They just don't even feel it. And, you know, by the way, I think in round 5 we mentioned Config being at 1 kill, but now we're about to enter round number 10, and it's still just the 1 kill.
Yeah. And I mean that's got to be a huge concern, and that's been a huge concern for this Astralis team. It's been one of the major talking points is what's happening that we can't find a way to get Config comfortable. You know, for a long time now, it's felt like he's only really that confident in his game on Ancient, right? Like it just seems like he's been a little bit lost.
I feel like Config, You remember Mel Gibson's character from Lethal Weapon, where they have to make him really angry and he dislocates his shoulder to get out of the straitjacket, and he murders everybody. I feel like that's how Config is similarly built. Like, what if they take a car battery and jolt him with it at the start of the game?
Sure.
And he's just fired up.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Is that a reference to too old to be one?
I mean, it's definitely a reference that's going to be too old for the large majority of the community. I appreciate it.
People should watch.
As a Lethal Weapon fan.
Go back and watch Lethal Weapon if you haven't. It's still worth it. Still good. Ooh, boost on the other side. Hampus maybe a second late to spot it. They're going to be almost getting the kill on top, but the whole thing crumbles on the other side.
Here's what's curious about the save in the previous round is I'm not sure what it's like really gotten Astralis that they didn't have in the previous one, right? Like, I mean, maybe you have a better feeling of coming back in the next round, but you still don't have any flashbangs. I think there was only enough money on 2 players to buy an extra grenade, so you're still not, you know, it's not like you're able to just kind of refresh your utility and go back into it. And once again, you're at the same position. Clock is running down. You're not in really, you haven't gained any real map control because you don't have the utility. This time, instead of 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, you've got 3 smokes and 1 Molotov. But you've still just got to kind of pull the trigger on and execute much the same way you would have had to do in the previous round.
Yeah, and that's certainly a bit of a downside to some of the tricks that are being pulled here from the Astralis side when they don't get the openings. That is 30 seconds, and they're set up for a full-on A execute. We're going to see the limited utility they have. It has to be really perfect, but already 3 people on the other side of the smokes here. So NIP, they're set up well. Farlig, though, that is a huge double entry, taking down S-Tag and rolling it. It's all on Hampus. He's alone, and he's going to be answering back, swinging out with the M4. He's out of bullets finally, and 10 seconds on the clock. They're going to actually relocate that bomb plant just to make sure that it's not interrupted from the connector, and somehow Astralis get the bomb plant and make it through that 3-man defense. That's wild and crazy.
Yeah, just a double kill from Farlig. Nothing special even to set it up. They didn't have anything to set it up. Flopsy's going to be everything on this flank if they want to make this retake happen. I think Zipix spotted out Rez. There's the Molotov. Plopsky getting close now as well.
Yes, he is, but Glaive is out there. Oh, in the middle of nowhere. He's going to get caught. Sip still with a lot of health left and fighting Plopsky. Nice crouch, actually, down from behind that trash bin and able to pick him off. BlameF with the final kill onto Rez and Astralis. That is going to be surely a sigh of relief for them. This round looked not very good from the outset, but they picked it up.
No, it didn't look like that should have even been possible, but deliverance from Farlig to find these 2 kills. There's the first one. Astag not even realizing they're progressing all the way up, and Brolin swings right into it afterwards. So a little bit of a gift given over to Astralis. They'll take it at this point. 4th round on the board.
Ooh, all right, Farlig pointing out that they haven't really picked up an AWP, but he happens to be saying that into a round where they are picking up an AWP.
Yeah, I think S-Tag just kind of was feeling comfortable on the M4s, and they were on a little bit of a winning streak. Remember, there was so many rounds too where Astralis didn't even find a kill, so no real motivation to kind of swap into the more expensive weapon. But as you mentioned, now he's got it at the divider up highway. The timing just going to give up the angle. So S-Tag with the op and Brolin going to hold down the fort at the A-bomb site. It's Hampus to play rotation, and Rez once again going to get frisky.
Yeah, I actually love this. Oh, look at the timing. Did Sip spot him? Yeah, now he definitely did. Rez still almost getting the kill on him. This is so crazy. The fact that he tried to go for it, look at the confidence on this guy. I actually can't believe it. He doesn't only just get the kill on, I guess, the 3rd player that he was fighting in there, but he managed to almost take down Sip on top, and now Hampus with the wallbang to drop him. That's a very rare fight. Not just to try and take, but to actually win.
That's got to be so inexplainable if you're Zipix. Like, you're going to watch this back and just not even realize how you didn't get that kill, or Astralis in general watching it back is not going to realize how they even allowed this to happen. Gotta say, great support as well from Plopsky. When Rez is fighting that retreating battle, he peeks off the other angle, is able to grab 1 more in the door to help secure Rez's survival. And Astralis, once again, just gonna have to save. 2 on 5. Nothing really to fight for here. Back into the doldrums for Astralis.
You feel like as soon as he gets spotted trying to hunt BlameF in the sewer tunnel, it's game over for that play, and he probably should be dead. But he managed to turn it into so much more. That is unusual. But NIP will take it. 7-4, 3-round lead.
And they got so much money as well. This is like Astralis now playing T-side overpass on like just a really hard difficulty. They've got to win multiple 2, 3, maybe even 4 rounds in a row to take all this money away from NIP.
Hampers is great. Oh man.
That was like a baby bird screaming for food.
It was. Oh.
6-1 run for the Ninjas.
You've seen a ridiculous clip where they take the sound a goat makes and put it into like a bunch of clips of Oprah. It's a really old internet video like that. But that could have.
I've seen the goat clips. I've never seen it mixed with Oprah.
It's beautiful. You'd enjoy it.
Somebody's brain is operating in a weird way. Oh, Rez is getting so aggressive. Ooh, close up. He's got the first. Plopsky has the second, but Brolin even combines in. And once again, Astralis, they're the ones pulling the trigger on this attack, but like they don't even get any clean fights. They don't even get fights through that smoke. NIP cold cocks them right there.
This defense is actually just starting to look so good. They have, think of how many different points on the map right now that they feel confident in. Is that once you control the monster tunnel itself, that's obviously a giant, you know, piece of the defense that you have to put together, and that's been pretty great all throughout. Whether it's been, you know, this time like a little bit of a combination, but otherwise, Rez has been playing down to this tunnel on his own and doing a really fine job. And then up at the A-bomb side, they've had the luxury almost a lot of rounds of having 3 people there when the attack happened. So they have solved a lot of what they needed to on this first half already. NIP, second timeout being called now for Astralis. They need to pick it up. They need a couple of more rounds on the board here to feel a little bit more secure. You know,
for a long time, I feel like this NIP team like has really kind of slipped under the radar due to all these different roster changes, and obviously with the confusion and just the darkness around the device situation. But you know, I think coming into Cologne, I think people were finally like, okay, this NIP team is legit. They're for real. They've been keeping up a good level through all this craziness, through Hampus stepping out of the roster for a few events just to get some time off, just to take a little bit of a mental break. And Cologne was kind of a disappointment for them, but I mean, coming back here outside of the break, you know, this performance right now is just kind of a reminder that NIP still a very dangerous, still a very strong team.
And even the games they lost in Cologne, where they were all games they could have won, it felt like they all looked like games that could have been going their way. So I'm sure it wasn't a fun tournament to get knocked out of, but at the same time, looking back at it, maybe with a couple of weeks going past, they should still, I think, be pretty excited about what they were showing in that tournament. 13th round, and we've got Astralis back on questionable weaponry. Deagle back 10, and a Galil.
That's a nice way to put it.
Uninspiring in many ways.
One smoke. That's nice.
Yeah, always good for something.
Well, at least they're going at S-tag with the op. So if you're gonna have this like lower weaponry, obviously it'd be great if you could get the op shot to miss, close the gap on him a little bit. The significant time in the reload between shots. Brolin has the first S-tag, misses his initial one. Now he's got to back away. There's only, remember, the one smoke, so they can't block off every choke point. Hampus involved in the action. If he can stop the bomb, that'd be great, but these weaker weapons are doing a lot of work.
What a read there from S-tag. Ready for BlameF to jump on top of the box. That's something to work with, but where are they taking that bomb? They're just leaving Glaive here and trying to bring it back down. But yeah, Rez knows. He definitely hears everything. Popsy's going to go check and not really realizing someone is still there. So that could get really awkward, but only if the bomb goes down. Wait, they're bringing it back? Oh, no. This is some actual matchmaking that we're witnessing. Glaive is going to be taking out S-tag, and NIP have got to be confused.
Just a sound fake. Rez calls everyone over. That's perfect. S-tag even going searching for the player that I believe they did spot. This is not a round NIP should be losing. What a way to find an avenue into the bomb site. Here comes the retake, but look at the positioning. It's just so strong from Astralis.
Yeah, it is, and there's no smoke in play right now for the NIP side, so they're gonna have to go and try and sit on top of that bomb while it's just in plain view of everyone down there by the restrooms. Plopsky, though, that's a huge one, but a headshot from Glaive, and that probably is the round one. No time here for Plopsky. He tries to fake it out, but Glaive will drop him. And even if he hadn't, it would have been a round for Astralis. Nice triple for Glaive, and a great round here for Astralis. Absolutely shocking that they win this one.
Unreal. The little double fake with, what, 20 seconds left on the clock when they start coming back. Unbelievable. Good job from Glaive. He finds all 3 of these final kills. Last 2 with the op, and obviously we saw that nice deagle headshot as well. 8-5. Astralis fighting back. But this is where things get a little bit dicey. This is where we just mentioned the NIP economy means they're buying for the rest of this half. There's no easy rounds for Astralis any longer.
Let's see if some of this is going to be enough to bring Config into the game a little bit, because that is something they've been really lacking. Not doing a lot for the opening half so far. Last 2 rounds here, if he can get a couple of kills in each, maybe that'll be the thing to set him on the right path here. Top fragging on the CT side is Rez at 12 kills, and nobody's actually even close to him on anywhere on the server. That's great. At one point in time, Rez and Broland definitely would have, I mean, that's what you wanted to see out of the younger generation of Swedish Counter-Strike, and I guess it's not too late. They still have a lot of years ahead of them the way that they're playing.
I mean, I'd put Hampus up there as well now, since he's kind of shown to be a little bit of a revelation since he joined NIP. I don't know what everyone else kind of expected. I didn't expect him to be as good as I think he is now, but I mean, even Hampus, when Broland joins, is saying if you want to be the best Swedish team out there, you have to have the best Swedish player. That was the entire point of going for Broland.
Well, it's been working out. Still some stuff to fix. Oh. All right, finally gets another chance at it with the AWP, but it is a 1 versus 5 that he's fighting for here. Bomb plant would have been nice going into the 15th round, but they're not going to be able to get it. So, NIP back in action here. This defense has looked really good. There's a lot to point out. A lot of positives to look for. Maybe they could finish this 10-5 if they can win this next round. Nice.
Such an intimidating sound. Does that go out through speakers in the studio? No, surely not. Maybe.
I hope so. I now that you say it, I really want that. I want that to happen.
Oh, Rez gonna get aggressive. He's found success pretty much every time he's done this. How aggressive does he want to get, though?
Oh, it's close, but there's some attention being stolen away from Broland. You could see they're setting up that same Molotov to the tree box there, but not going to be able to find anyone this time. So Rez, this fight against the Mac 10, he should definitely be winning that one, although right behind him, still getting the kill. Glaive is there for the revenge. That is a little bit unfortunate timing. If Glaive was a second earlier, maybe he could have saved his teammate there. Oh, panic on the side of Plopsky.
Yeah, he was he was ready for that fight. He paused and settled his feet and got ready for it, but caught off guard, I guess, by the angle Glaive was playing from. Hampus is going to have to step up next behind the smoke of Monster. Spamming in, making sure no one's setting it up outside. Return fire does a lot of damage, and the op finishes him off, and almost a follow-up from Farlig. That would have been great. Roland and S-Tag to defend.
Yeah, they're in a great position, but there is about 40 seconds left, so I guess they don't have to run for it, Astralis. He actually took 99 damage in return, Hampus, trying to do that. That's so crazy. Roland now looking under the smoke, in fact, walking through it. And on the other side, Glaive patiently waiting 30 seconds, and all of that patience is paying off right now. S-Tag is on his own, 1 versus 2, and they're going to go for it right here, see if they can set something up. But that AWP is a huge equalizer in this kind of a round. They're going to put up more smokes, and he's just walking up, still scoped up. He didn't actually spot anyone there, but they might not realize how close he is. He missed the flick, and Glaive will take him down, and that's a nice finish.
Yeah, 9-6 for NIP, a good defense, but Astralis grind a few rounds back at the end. We're headed to a break. We're going to see who's going to win when we return.
I have no idea where he is. He can go B.
20 seconds. You
Oh, you have to bomb.
Oh, you have to run.
Let's kill him, let's kill him.
Kill you guys. Oh, do
Kill
we
him,
have
kill
time?
him, kill him, kill him. No, I don't have time, I think. Just try to kill him, though.
We're coming.
Oh,
I'm clearing B.
Coming tunnels.
He's tunnels, I think. T-spawn, I think.
Likely, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, right, sure, I think.
I'll tap B.
Just scout him.
Thanks,
Oh.
God.
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I didn't
We
even
win the
set
round.
the bomb.
Ready? I smoke.
I will be able to resmoke fallen more conscious.
house.
Smoke.
B, minute.
Mid. Maybe split.
Window.
Blind.
Window, under stand
Under-
back, stand back.
Back, stand back.
That B.
Nice.
Nice, that B1, that B1. Just go mid B.
Go B, go
We
mid.
have to go mid B.
That B
Nice,
second.
that B1 move. That mid,
Mid,
one more
last
mid.
mid, last mid. AK
No!
window, nice, Nexa. AK window, AK window.
go!
Nothing
Nice
second
B.
mid. No one picking.
Wait. Let's go close.
Mid pushing.
I'm a peek second man.
Holding 3.
Could be Vietnam,
Second man,
Seven
boiler,
abs.
pushing. I need help.
Where? In boiler.
Boiler. Abs and second man, yes.
Come.
One more here.
Slope. Pull back now.
Abs on.
That's it.
Abs and second mid, abs.
Banana.
He left too short. He left deep.
Can be boiler.
He run way along.
I
will
still,
follow
I
it.
can still do abs smoke, guys.
One more mid.
One of second mid, the far back. Careful, he's going mid.
I'm in boiler.
I'm good. I have smoke.
He was long corner, Jackie.
I'm adventuring.
I left abs, okay?
I'm flanking holes.
I'm peeking long now.
You want to go long?
Let mid, boiler.
Yeah,
Nice.
good job.
I don't see anything.
Bouncing YOLO.
I don't see city.
There's.
I'm
Okay,
tripping.
jungle.
Can boost
That's-
this stairs,
that's-
Adam?
Let's pick stairs together, guys. You ready?
Wait a bit.
Ready?
Go. 3, 2, 1.
One more stairs,
Stairs.
Dead.
Go city now.
We have city.
Get around. I'm only round behind.
Yeah, should be one
City dead.
episode.
Let's
I'm pushing city.
Open
Oh,
jungle,
fuck.
open jungle.
Nice, guys.
I
That's
took
what
Don't
off,
take
I
up, don't
took
take
off.
up, Madden.
Okay.
Okay, take it.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the second half. It's a best of one to start out the group with here for NIP and Astralis. And right now, I'm going to say NIP's defense did look pretty good, but I think Astralis got enough rounds on the board that they still have something to fight for here. 9-6 split. It's not the end of the world.
No, not. I mean, when you consider some of the rounds Astralis won, I mean, the nice little 2v2 at the end, but think of the round they won where they did the double fake from the A-bomb site back downstairs and came back. That was huge. That gives them some breathing room into the second half. Farley gets traded off 1-for-1.
I don't know why that looked so funny. It looked like Brolin just sat and didn't even shoot the guns. Like, he was like...
I'll give you
testing
2
him.
shots before I respond.
Yeah. You get the first swing. Oh, I'm dead. That's a bit rough. But traded right back. Rez, on the other hand, was lightning fast on that P250.
Smoke flash left on S-Tag for this NIP attack. They've got to deal with a pretty aggressive defense. Clave in the stairs looking for information, sees nothing, but Blame F and Zipix are going to be hard to get by at Monster.
Still a lot of time. But just a spot here to alert Astralis of what's happening.
Look at the way that's pulled everyone. Glaive just gets out of the staircase. He's back towards sandbags. Config now playing retake at the A-bomb, so he's going to have a very fast rotation.
Yeah, that's a good point. There are about to be 4 people on this B-bomb site within a 5-second window, so might be difficult, although that will clear things up. What an opening. They don't check the corner. Sip. He's wedged up in here, just gliding down behind them. Silent, and with that USP, able to tick down the bomb. That's 25 seconds left. The duelings have shown up on the L-bend. Oh, this is a nightmare. They thought they were home safe, but Sip is up behind them, and he'll win the round. Astralis, that is huge.
Nobody checked it. Not one of the 4 players. First player did. It was a real, like, that's like a 50% clear. That's like a little jerk of the mouse just to make sure you look in that direction, but nothing all that special. And Zipix is able to manage it. He was very, very patient with that. You don't want to mess it up. Good shot from Rez, but it matters for nothing.
He almost came down a little bit early from that. Almost ran into S-Tag there. Ooh, all right. That's one of those tricks that almost always gets checked. I feel like it almost never works, but this time, it's great. 7-9. I think a much-needed pistol round being picked up by Astralis.
Yeah, this is going to be a really close affair down the stretch. NIP is going to have to win a lot of gun rounds to make this look good. Blame F. Another kill for him. 2 in the round so far. Farley gets activated for some bonus money, and Blame F eventually does fall. 2 remaining for NIP.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the MP9 can pick up a couple of kills, maybe especially for Farley with that AWP later on. So yeah, he's out hunting for it, and he'll get 3 of them in the round. So he's gonna take it, and he'll pick up the M4A1. So just nothing but winning at the end here for him.
This is now both pistol rounds won by Astralis, and both second rounds as well. So they've got like a nice little kind of 4-0 lead based off the pistol round and the ensuing follow-up round in both of these halves.
Yeah, that's a nice way to think of it. 8 to 9. I mean, once again, absolutely anybody's game. Apart from Config, everyone's playing really well, but he still only has 3 kills here. So we're still kind of waiting for him to get activated in this game at some point.
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. That's where it's like, man, if he ever does kind of switch into this game, let's see if Astralis can just blow it up on the scoreboard and just rattle off a win. Nice opening kill from Farlig. He can look for that kind of a jump because he's got Blame F tucked into the corner to make sure nobody can close the gap on him.
And S-Tag might almost be wondering that, saying, wait a minute, if he's scoped up holding that angle, he almost has to have some backup out here. So didn't want to go and look for that fight either. 3 versus 4. And a tough start here to the second half for NIP.
Yeah, it really is.
Config's looking for it with just a FAMAS in hand. AK on the other side, Blame F that long range, and S-Tag, again, because of the early position for Farley, not completely unreasonable that he would go and check that just to be sure. 3 versus 3 now, and Config spotting out a T player just slipping away into the connector.
Yeah, that was interesting though. Config was just kind of falling back, but I felt like he was going to commit to that fight. He was just peeking for information, so backing away. He saw Plopsky slip in towards the staircase, but NRP's going to come right back and attack. S-Tag very low, 2 HP on him. Smoke flash Molotov for the T side to use. At the moment, it's silence for Plopsky. Glaive wasn't ready as he turns the corner. Good opening kill. B bomb site is there for the taking.
That's a pretty tough position to be caught in there when you're almost pre-aiming a different angle and they just slide out against you like that.
Yep.
Config.
I don't think they can go for this.
No, it doesn't feel like it.
Not with Farlig's op.
So weird. This 3-on-3 before the kill on Glaive looked absolutely winnable for Astralis. Looked like they had the better position, and all of a sudden, it swung back the other way.
So I was kind of surprised that Config didn't actually commit to that fight towards the stairs when he was at Sandbags. He was just like peeking for information, which is not the Config that I think of in my head. I thought he was certainly going to just commit and go for that kind of a fight. Don't think that was necessarily a deciding factor in any way. He does get one at the end. It's 9 to 9, all tied up, as Astralis puts priority on the AWP.
Yeah, they will. Wow, that's real interesting. Ooh, Farlig actually. That's to get all the guns away from the NIP side.
Risky though, dangerous. Put in a position where it could get taken away. Still, out of victory, you're exactly right. All the weapons, all the money is lost. Pretty good round put together by Farlig, considering he started it out with this.
Yeah, he'll just be happy about it. Still can't believe that Astralis actually lose the round.
That was a painful fight to lose. I think Blame F probably wins that fight 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
This one was the loss. Good relationship on NIP between DJL and Hampus, coach and in-game leader. Both really enjoy working together, as they've mentioned a number of times. And he's going to have to come up with a solution in a weird buy situation, as you mentioned, out of a win. All the guns taken away. 4 Galils and a Deagle.
Hard to tell exactly. It sounded like they wanted to try and abuse some sort of config rotation in this round, so maybe that's something to look for if they're going to be able. If they have a read like that, they feel like they can put some pressure on config and force him to move in a bad way across the map. Well, that's certainly worth doing.
Ooh, good shot, and not enough time for the follow-up player Rez to peek out. Blame F going to be aggressive again. He's just like, look, this position worked. I missed the fight. It's not going to happen again.
Yeah, backing off all the way into the B-bomb side as well. They really don't want to risk it now that they have the 4-on-5 advantage. Looks like NIP, though, on the other side, they want to be speedy with it. 1 minute and 20 seconds, and they just run through the tunnel. Going to try and make their way around, but that's already being read. I think 3 people were pre-aiming that smoke. Rez is going to get one of them in return at the very least, but it's still a 3-on-4, and this is looking tough here for this incoming attack to the B bomb site. They need that bomb plant to put some pressure on the CT side. And S-Tag, though, the Galil will do all of the work, and I can't believe Astralis actually get picked off in this.
No, I think Config's gonna be so frustrated. He saw a blind player, but again, that's just a fight that you would expect Config to win, but S-Tag just rips his head clean off. And once again, the call might have to come in to save this pretty quick. There's no kits, and you're risking the AWP, and you're risking your entire economy if you're Astralis. I don't think there's a chance they go for it.
Everything in terms of the setup, if you just pause the game and took a screenshot, you'd see 3 versus 4, and everything seemed to be working out for them.
I think maybe the only disadvantage that Astralis had is they backed off that bomb site, all 3 players, at the worst possible time, just as NIP was stepping up to Monster, and they had some clean space to work with.
Oh! Speaking of timings.
Yeah, bless my heart.
Wow. Finally gets 17-11. He's way ahead of everybody else in the team, which is great, but they're lacking some crucial components on the Danish side right now, and it's hurting them a lot.
This is a nice kill, but this double up from S-Tag is everything. Look at this fight. It feels like Config just kind of get frozen out in the open, expecting that he was going to win the fight against a blind opponent who might not expect his position, but S-Tag had all the intel he needed. Perfectly done. 3-round lead and no money on Astralis. It's just the AWP.
Yeah, NIP in a position suddenly where they could almost sprint to the finish line here if they keep going this way, because Astralis will have not that many buys left in them if it keeps going this way. AWP on file again. Otherwise, just some supporting pistols. What a weird second half this has been. The call for NIP to push at 1 minute and 20 seconds in the previous round absolutely worked the way that you want, which is not always, you know, it's not always a given.
It might not have even been designed, to be honest with you. It might have just been they had to speed things up because they got picked off, you know, at the door with the AWP. Probably again is going to find another opening. This time at least he's traded right off. So just pistols remaining for Astralis. They can't recover the AWP. Plenty of utility for NIP to create some space and opportunity, and Hampus is going to start taking advantage behind the flames.
And they might know that there's a bunch of people at the bomb site, but just given the weapon difference here, they probably don't care that much. They feel confident in this fight. So far, just fighting the pistols outside of the AWP, which, as you pointed out, is already lost behind them. Config goes down last, and it will be a 12th round for the Swedish side. Well done. Starting to feel it.
Yeah, really. And this is playing out just like the first half. You know, Astralis wins the pistol, wins the second ensuing round, and then once the guns come out, NIP just starts taking over, and it has a very similar vibe to it at the moment. 12-8. 3 rounds in a row for NIP.
Still waiting on that Config X factor to be showing itself.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's coming, does it?
If it is, it's going to be even more exciting now, because that's surely the only thing that'll save them at the moment. It feels like this gap is building, and they really need him.
Yeah, the only thing really working for this Astralis defense at the moment is Farlig with this AWP. He's been quite a nuisance, especially in the early stages of the rounds. I think 2 or 3 rounds he's been able to find the opening kill for his team, but they haven't really been able to convert all those into a victory. Need to blow open the door and give Farlig this angle, does good amount of damage. Rez jumps across, baits out the shot. They now know the position of the AWP.
And they want to put some speed behind it. What a catch from S-Tag. You mentioned this earlier about him getting a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more confident with the AWP. Well, here it is. That third kill. Absolutely blowing up Glaive. And Config and Blameth, 2 versus 5. Not even a chance to get near the bomb site. What a wild opening.
That's some disgusting shooting from S-Tag. That is the kind of thing that'll start to convince people and convert people into believers if you can pull that out. I think that time it's just NIP they spot out the AWP, right? And once the op is spotted, you know, typically in today's Counter-Strike, he takes his shot, he shows his presence, and then the defense shifts. The op gets into a new position, lay down some utility to buy some time to rotate some players around. NIP finds that timing right when the op is conversing about switching and changing the defense, and they just hit an opening that Astralis didn't even realize they were offering.
Yeah,
Who was the first kill from S-Tag? It was Glaive, I believe, or Zip pushing down towards Monster. Like, he didn't expect any kind of a peek coming from Monster at that point. His attention was kind of halfway towards sandbags, maybe making sure he's not getting picked off from an off angle. He never expected the op to be that aggressive. Timeout called from Astralis.
Yeah, this is such a quick shot as well. and just keeps running in here. He is so ready. This last one is just beautiful. Yeah. If you strip the names of that one, it'd be a while before people guess S tag on the scoreboard. But
For sure.
we've seen it before. He's had some decent results in the past. Improvised fan. Humidity in Denmark is high at the moment.
It was something unique today. I can't remember the last time I was in Copenhagen in the summer.
Not like this.
It feels like this is a new experience for me.
Summer is usually just a lot of rain in this part of the world, but
I'm jumping in the water when we get done.
that's something. That's a good idea. Got that central, yeah, like right by the hotel. It's a good idea.
Hopping in with all the Danes. Do Danish people like work? I just look out my window and there's like people drinking beers, jumping into the water all day long.
Yeah, that's a kind of work, I guess. Maybe they get paid for it. Maybe they're all influencers, Jason.
An economy of influencers. Jesus.
I'm sure there's no way it could backfire.
No.
This is the bubble that won't burst. Config. Been talking a lot about him, but not in the light that we normally will. Just more of a kind of a where has he gone? Where is he? And is it possible to get him back before NIP sweep up this game? They're about 3 rounds away from that happening, so we need him to do something. And he's gotten very aggressive in this one. Oh, he wasn't even flashed, but just the timing of it. Rez walks around the corner. Config sure there's going to be a push coming through the tunnel. And it never comes. Sip trying to see if he can follow it up. That is a good headshot. He could do more here. He'll take down Hampus, and that's a huge win with just a pistol. They nearly get that one too. But Plopsky able to return it 3 versus 3 now. And a chance maybe for Astralis. What a shock it would be if they won this round.
Oh, I think this position from Plopsky, I think this is such a smart piece of aggression from Plopsky just to push all the way forward. You allow for a safe plan on the other side of the pillar. And I don't think there's any way Astralis can really make this happen. Blame F starting to come through Monster. You might as well give it a shot at this point.
Yeah, they're running out of rounds to play with. But also no defuse kit currently picked up on anyone, and no smoke either. HE, if it finds Brolin, maybe, and that's going to be a start, but they are very low on time already. 2 versus 2 here, and the bomb is planted in a great position for the position that they're having on the C side here. Sip is checking everything out and realizing, yeah, there's no way. We just don't have the equipment to try and do this with. They're going to tap the bomb, but they've already made the call to run, hoping to maybe catch a couple of NIP players running back into the bomb site. But that is about it. 14 on the side of NIP.
Yeah, NIP just 2 rounds away from taking their first victory here at Blast Premier. Nice solid win.
It truly is. Oh, look at that jump. Config just not even able to react.
I know we've mentioned it a couple times. Feel bad going back to it, but he's having a real rough time of it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we almost have to mention it because we know the high skill ceiling that he has. So I guess it's in contrast to that we're bringing it up a lot. Roland already taking a bit of damage. NIP, if they win this one, they're almost home safe. They won 5 in a row. And looking to continue. Roland flash right through. That is a nice setup for it.
And that's a cool change of the attack as well, because you can even see Blame F off that flashbang. He's like, yep, they're going to be wrapping around. He's going to be coming and swinging, you know, to my right towards Party, but Roland's coming right around the edge of the smoke. There might have even been a design gap. Nowhere for Farlig to go, but they line up for him anyways. S-tag with the trade, but Farlig's delivered again.
I was gonna say that's a terrible position to be in with an AWP, unless you're able to pull off something like that. But once he finds that first shot, feels like he is surely dead. Hampers in S-tag, 2 versus 3, still 55 seconds, so not a lot has to go wrong in a round like this for Astralis to still lose the round. They're hoping for a mistake on the Astralis side, but at least they're not giving them that. And Glaive is so far outside of B, they feel pretty confident that no one's going to be sneaking through that side.
It's a nice position for Glaive, because even if they slip the net and go down the stairs into the B bomb site by sandbags, he's already in a great position to kind of flank and have a retake onto that B bomb site. So he's more than happy to just watch the single choke point. 24 seconds, and now NIP has to get aggressive.
And Glaive is starting to move and realizing, all right, they're not going to be showing up. So he can even call that in. 15 seconds. Config up close here with the M4. Molotov to set it up, and he'll get that kill on the Hampus. And that pretty much cancels it all out. S-Tag, no point in throwing away this AWP. They needed that opening inside of the A bomb site. So it's going to be a 9th round for Astralis, which is something. Step in the right direction. But if not for Farlig and that triple kill, they might still lose this round.
Yeah, even if it was just a double kill, even if they don't line up and he just gets, you know, a second frag, I think this is still a very, very dangerous round. But, man, Astralis barely surviving. And of all people, it's Farlig to keep them in it constantly. He's been phenomenal on this CT side. The only thing to be happy about.
It's true. Much criticized, you know, and maybe some of the time for good reason. Wonder what he's been spending his player break on. You know.
Oh, was that a
Warming
quad
it up.
boost?
Yes, it was. Lightning quick
man.
as well. S-Tag.
It's a good response, though, from Farlig.
Yeah, he's like, I know you're going to be stuck over on that side coming off the boost, so he's ready for it. Scoped up, and they throw the flashbang. It's a leg on Brolan. Oh, I would have loved to have seen him try to fight his way out of that one, but the leg shot makes it pretty much impossible. That's unfortunate.
No reason for Rez to even flirt with danger in this part of the map. He knows there's at least one who's pushed down sandbags. Doesn't know about Blame F, still at the base of the staircase. And someone on Astralis has got to take a risk. It is going to be Blame F pushing. This could be a massive flank. Keep your eye over on the minimap as well. Hampus pressuring towards long A. There's a smoke up at the moment, but he could actually challenge it. He could take that risk and walk right through. That would pull his team back into this flank.
Oh, he's going to go check the other way. I don't even... It's hard to even say who's coming out on top of this one, but...
Oh, Blame F has picked the wrong direction as well.
Yeah, it feels like it. It really does. Glaive and Config down here. They're about to get shot in the back. Config is dead already. Hampus able to find him, and I don't even know what to say. Absolutely knocked out. Blame F on his own. The flank, not even really much of a flank any longer. And I think they've already heard him. But nice tap there to take down Brolan, but it's too late. 1 versus 3. And there's no reason that he should be winning this round.
Do you go for it, or do you pick up the op and pass it over to Farlig? What's the decision here?
You surely will.
As I think with the smoke down in Monster, you almost have to give it up. You do have utility of a kit, but again, 1v3, they know exactly where you are, and time's going to start dwindling. It might just be time to grab the op and bail out.
Almost feels like he's saying, I'll try and get the exits and then the AWP, but even that is, I would say, is somewhat risky.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, we can see there's no value in it with the kind of money that NIP has building up, and they're not even going to give him the opportunity.
Wow. That is not what Astralis needed. 15 on the side of NIP. Things are still looking good. S-Tag on 21 kills, so doing remarkable work at the moment for the NIP side.
Well, op can be passed over. Here we go.
Boom. That is a quick assembly of that giant boost.
And I mean, look, I think that's a good play from Farlig. I think maybe with the op stay a little bit further back.
Sure, yeah. I mean, surely for him, it also just feels like he has to do everything. So he's just trying to make his way through this and get his team back into the game.
Also, good heads up from NIP as well, making sure they throw the flashbang, making sure they throw bodies at it, coming back, realizing the potential for someone to be pushed up in that part of the map.
Time has run out for the Danish side. If they want a comeback, then they need to win the next 6 rounds. 17 on Rez, 17 on Brolan, and then with S-Tag actually top fragging at 21 on the NIP side, which is tied with Farlig. So Danish Orpers at the moment are kind of battling it out. Got the grenades set up right here, and it could be effective against Glaive. We'll see if they're going to be able to... Oh, they pulled it back.
There's Farlig again.
Doing more work all the time.
Lots of work. Flashbang over. Hampus going to be activated. Clears things out. He's got Config tucked into the corner at Sandbags. Looking for a fight.
Lots of grenades exchanged, but through the smoke, it's Sip to find the kill on Hampus, so that's at least something. 3 versus 5 here. And starting to look pretty decent for Astralis in this particular round. Blamef has pushed up really far out along by the flower bed, so he's going to have a A lot of warning in case anyone was going to shift over on that side.
It's interesting seeing Zipic still kind of challenge and posture the way he is with low HP. You think at this point you just wouldn't want to give any kills back and not give any kind of opportunity over to NIP to get back into the round.
Slowly and silently trying to assemble the boost with the flash on top. Wow, they're going to be catching Glaive. It's almost a free kill. Well done. Plopsky taking a fair bit of damage as he tries to make it through into the bomb site, and Brolin down here playing around the smoke. He's calling it in, saying, I'm almost there, I could almost do it. Another flashbang might have set it up, but Config able to hold his own this time, and he's going to be getting a little bit of a double kill there towards the end of the round. Astralis, they live at least for another round here.
Yeah, and this is kind of the last time where we say, hopefully that's a feel-good round for Config to snap him back into things. A little bit of a double kill, an assist in there as well with some damage done. This is where you got to say, all right, you got Farlig finding you opening kills left and right. Now you need someone else to step up behind it, and hopefully it can be Config off the back of that nice double kill. I know it's not much to go on, but Astralis are going to need it if they want to claw this one back. 5 rounds remaining, they have to win in a row to force overtime.
It has to be. They just desperately, I mean, not just because it's Config and because his ceiling is high, but because they've almost been playing 4 on 5 up until this point. So
yeah,
they really need that 5th player to come in and have a little bit more of a say. Timeout used by NIP to try and discuss what it'll take to get one more round. That's all they need. Stuck right on the finishing line at the moment. We'll see if they're going to be able to. Shield is up.
I have to know if that's actually a live sound in the arena. Studio arena.
If not, we should make.
Or if it's just in our ears.
What sound, Jason? There is no sound. I know. No idea what you're talking about.
Don't do that. All right, here we go. S-Tag is going to see the shot. Oh, he gets a leg. Blame F survives with 7 HP. That'll be frustrating. And Hampus falls next. Good damage on a Glaive and Blame F. Those fights are so close to going in the favor of the Ninjas, but again, a 3 on 5.
Yeah, both probably feel like, man, that's our fight to win right there. And it goes the way of Astralis instead. Rolling with the AWP out looking for it. Blame if it's on the other side. Could be a winnable fight here indeed. Taking him down. And Farlig is right there with the second AWP. So if they get close enough, he might not have enough speed here to pick up more kills. He's already done a great job, even at close range, but this is asking a lot. He sees one of them, hasn't unscoped yet, so they don't even know that he's there.
Oh, no.
Oh, missed the shot. Pistol's out instead. He spins around and hunts down Brolin. What an amazing map this has been for Farlig so far. Now Rez, 40 seconds in a 1 versus 3, and he's going to spin around and get that kill on Sip. Glaive is coming in. He's already low on health, and Red hits the headshot to clutch it and take down Astralis.
What a way to end it. That's just so fitting. 5 on 3 for Astralis. Farlig gives you a nice double, a great battle for him in bathrooms, and you still drop the round. NIP showing up on the right foot right out of the break. Great stuff continuing where they left off.
Yeah, well and truly, that's quite the performance here, especially maybe for some unexpected characters. S-Tag doing such a remarkable job with the AWP. That's great to see.
And surviving. Remember, Astralis wins both pistol. They get started each half with like a 2-0 run, a 3-1 run, I think, on the first half as well. Like they got started on the right foot in both halves and still just couldn't convert anything.
Wow, something to look forward to. Hard to say. I mean, I picked NIP going out first, or I guess topping this group.
All right, just bringing it
bringing it back,
a little bit, yeah.
Pointing it out.
Narcissism at its finest.
Yeah, well, I have to. I don't get many moments like this, Jason. And they're not even done yet. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we've got more Counter-Strike coming up. Oh, no, not a break, Jason.
We got James. We got Mr. Banks.
Oh yes, you've not got rid of me just yet. We've got Rez by the side of me, and even with Astralis getting both pistols, you guys start off strong, coming straight out of this break into a positive form with your full team as well. How did that one feel?
Felt very good in general. Our communication as well felt on point. We were very active in the game. We did stuff, we had good ideas, and our game plan worked perfectly, so it feels good.
And you got a smile on your face. S-Tag was also doing some big damage in there as well at the same time. Right, obviously there was the criticism coming onto this guy overall. Do you feel like, though, that you expect them to pick over pass in this one?
Yeah, we expected either overpass or maybe ancient here. So yeah, we were prepared on both maps, really, so yeah, we're ready.
Now, another thing here for NIP, right? You guys have had to suffer with so many stand-ins. Obviously, Hampus was out a few events as well. Now we're finally back to start off season with your 5. Is this, do you feel like the one where we can start saying, okay, you can fight for titles, you can fight for tournaments?
Yeah, I feel like it's finally we're here together, and we had our first real good boot camp together. So yeah, I hope this season can go like this.
And now, right, you're going to go up against Vitality. What do you feel about that one? Do you feel like you're going to have an edge over them, considering obviously we don't really know too much about them yet? It's a new player coming in, but you guys get a steady 5.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. See how Spinks is going to work out, but he should be nervous.
He should be nervous. I love it, Rez. We'll have to see how it goes when they go into the next game.
Thank you very much for that one, James. What an ending to that map as well. Almost like Astralis were going to be clawing their way back into things, but Rez, in his true fashion, just from that map. Solid clutch to close it out.
You know what? That last round is a good illustration of that second half. Honestly, the amount of times Astralis found themselves in somewhat positive situations, somewhat manpower, having the drones in the right positions where they needed to be, but the kills just wouldn't come through. NIP were always able to claw it right back, as James was talking about, and some frustration in the Danish game.
Yeah, it was very impressive from NIP, because as you said, they are constantly playing from behind, especially on that T side. We know the T side on Overpass to be incredible tough, but NIP, they constantly found themselves in 2v3s, 3v4s, and still fought a way to fight back into it. Scoreboard says 16-10. I think this game could have been much closer, but Astralis, they lacked that little edge. They lacked, the finisher right here. It was a little bit disappointing to watch.
What was the firepower? The Danish duo we're always talking about. Blamef, Config, they're supposed to be the left-right double punch for Astralis. Nowhere to be found. Config took about 25 rounds to start playing Counter-Strike, and Blamef, crazily enough, yes, we know he sometimes struggles on the T side. That has been a problem that is coming over and over for Astralis. But I was hoping that on the CT side, suddenly he would take the space. He would make sure that Glaive knew exactly what was going on. And he was silent as well. He fell flat into this game. And what should have been safe bet for Astralis just didn't show up.
No, not at all. And I just want to give commiserations to Fale as well for actually playing a decent Counter-Strike game, right? He was showing up, especially on the CT side with the AWP. Glaive on the T side as well, having a good game, but you hit it right here. The fact that Blamef and Config didn't have any impact whatsoever, you can't really expect Astralis to win a game of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that 1-2 punch really not finding the firepower necessary for the Danes to be pulling that one over the line. I do want to talk about Rez in that game, though. I know we kind of alluded to it with that clutch to end things out, but I know we were talking back at the major. We were sort of seeing him on that more consistent trajectory, the firepower that we want, and we know he can be delivering. I'm really hoping that he continues that into the season. And from that first map, was looking good.
Yeah, and he was solid as well. You have to realize he's not playing the sexiest of positions right now. We saw him a couple of times on that B pillar position, which is, you're not getting a lot of love there, right? You just pretty much have executes on your face. Well, I have to say, Hampus came in with a really interesting plan on the CT side. They pushed, they took positions away from Astralis, they retook construction, they retook bathroom, and that helped a man like Rez to get activated. But he keeps on going. In 2022, he's one of the best players out there, and with Broline behind him, I think there's some serious power in the NIP lineup.
Yeah, I think we saw the raw skill of Rez really shine through in this game, and you talked about it as well, Freya. The beginning of the year as well, it's been a great year for Rez so far. He's continuing as well. He's just a raw, good Counter-Strike player. Got a lot of raw aim, got a good understanding. Clutches as well. We saw that in the very last round. He has a good understanding for where to position himself and really play to his own strengths. So happy to see Rez play well. And as we spoke about, right, Config and Rez, that head-to-head duel, probably the same player type, but Config were nowhere to be found in that duel whatsoever.
Yeah, it was that aggression that you were kind of picking up, particularly in that first half on the CT side for NIP, that was being a real difference maker. We just have to look at the opening duels that they were winning. It was exponential on the side of both Rez and Broline for that first half.
They had the confidence to do it, right? We saw Rez push out on short, where we even in the green room were saying, you don't need to push, but he felt it, right? He had the confidence for it, he went for it, and it looked very good for Rez, looked very good for NIP. And even though Astralis ended up with 6 T rounds, you said it yourself, right? It felt a little bit flat at the end of the day. 6 rounds T-side overpass, that's good, but it wasn't really convincing in any fashion for Astralis.
No, I think that was a little bit of a smokescreen. If you just turn on, you go on HLTV 6-6-9, you're thinking, oh, Astralis actually had a decent T half. It wasn't really about that. We're talking 3 rounds from the pistol round. They were talking a crazy double entry from Fallig. We're talking a weird-ass clutch when there is some faking going around. In the core game, in the core Counter-Strike, I think NIP was 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of Astralis. I think Hampus was in Glaive's mind at the very beginning. First, he got aggressive. He forced Glaive and Astralis to slow down, and once they did, they saved their utility. And you would see Astralis with 30 seconds trying to cross a smoke monster. Well, that's it. Checkmate. You're not winning that round. So a very well-strategic CT side from Hampus and the boys.
Well, unfortunately, Astralis studios out in their debut here at the Four Groups, but we do have a few words courtesy of Blamef with Banks.
I've got Blamef with me after Astralis drop out in the opening game. Okay, it's a best of 1. It's only 1 game. How do you feel after that one? Is it something you really care about? You know you can bounce back and there's plenty of chances here?
No, we don't care about it at all. Of course we care. Of course we care about winning the opening match, but they played better and they deserve to win.
And when it comes to the overpass, right, obviously we've seen you guys play better on it more recently, but it's been a key map for them. Did you feel like you had a good game plan against them?
Yeah, I do think we had a good game plan against them, but it's also like I don't think it's the strongest of their maps. I think they have other maps they're stronger on. I think it looks weaker for us than it might have been just because of the recent loss against Aurora, I think it's called. So yeah, I think we had a good game plan.
And OG next, how you feel going into that one? Obviously, they bring that Dexter in, but it's at least a team you can have better understanding of how they're going to play.
Yeah, I think they have more maps played, like after the break. So I think we have more information on them, so it's fine. Like we have to be able to play anyone that's down here for sure.
That's what it's all about. Blame F, let you go. Thank you very much.
Blame F not too worried coming into the next match here at the full groups. But we do have some of the struggles kind of illustrated in the Zico play, don't we, Jake?
Yeah, they had opportunities. We talked about it. Astralis, especially on the CT side, found themselves in plenty of situations where they're up 4 against 3, they're up 3 against 2. They just couldn't close the rounds. We have an eco play I want to show you guys to illustrate that as well, because it was a close game. It was a game that could have, I guess, been even closer if Astralis were to finish off these rounds. You see Farley getting off to a good start, finding an entry kill right here, falling back, actually playing ABC Counter-Strike. Farley had a good game. Now, NIP, they want to go in towards this B bomb site. We saw that over and over again. Another kill coming in here from Glaive, and now you're in a 5v3. You're supposed to win this round, but from this point and onwards, everything is falling apart from Astralis. The rotation is not coming in quickly enough. The firepower from the individuals not really showing up, and NIP find themselves in what should be an impossible situation. Double kill from S-Attack, and all of a sudden, a round that should have been Astralis's, a round that would have made this game 10-9, goes the way of NIP. You see the buy afterwards from Astralis. There's nothing to work with whatsoever, and that was the problem. They couldn't capitalize when they had the chance.
It's the moment in the game that is so tragic about this clip. Yes, there are a couple of mistakes out there. Exip is fighting on his own. Config is missing kill. It's 8-10. This is where you start to set the financial trend of the half, and Astralis just missed the train on that one.
Well, that was our second game of Group A, but I do want to flip it back to Vitality taking on OG, because we were really hyped about that one, particularly because Spinks, he was making his debut for the Hive, and I was very impressed with what Spinks delivered in his first game for Vitality.
It's only one map, but I guess we got exactly what we wanted out of Vitality. We had Zaiwu firing on all cylinders. We had Spinks being influential. Also, very interestingly enough, playing that long position, we had a little bit of a dialogue with Jacob earlier in the pre-show talking about where is he going to play, is he going to fit. He just took me to the position 1-for-1 on that dust too, but he was much different. I think Mahon's going to talk about it a little bit later. He had a lot of impact, and this is the Spinks that I kind of want to see.
He had a bit more freedom as well, playing in the same position, but yeah, more freedom to be aggressive, more freedom to rotate. And as you talked about, we can talk a lot about Spinks, how he's going to, thrive within Vitality, how he's going to thrive and potentially raise them to another level. But Zaiwu is still the star. Zaiwu is still one of the best players in the entire world. He's still the guy that's going to make Vitality a top contender if they ever were to be one. And Zaiwu playing well in the first game of this part of the season, great to see.
And I absolutely love it. Hopefully we're going to see more of it, and we will definitely be seeing more of Vitality as they will be coming up after this break. They're going to be taking on NIP in their second game here at the full groups. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back after this short break.
He starts to come back around the corner. Diha's got the defuse if he can't do anything about it. And Diha comes off.
Wait, what?
How does...
Oh, he got the defuse and then killed him.
Oh, and then the animation comes... Okay.
Wow, he just did that.
That was weird timing.
He just did that really fast, yeah.
I didn't like that one bit.
That's actually nuts.
He gets the defuse, then the kill.
How many frames is this?
What? What?
Yeah, that looked so nuts because it was actually instant. He's so confused.
They're tossing all of the grenades at him. He puts out the Molotov. It's a pretty good read right here. And he gets the one on Misuta, but he's going to have to do a lot more back here. He is a one-man army at this point in time. He takes down Magus as well and keeps going. Monesi, he's stolen the round from them. Zaiwu is on his own now, and he just doesn't know where to find him. Inside of the smoke, trying to bait out that last shot with the AWP, but there's 10 seconds left. And Monesi, what an absolutely godlike round.
A double-man advantage that feels like surely Vitality have already got enough. But what about that flash from SDY? How about this hold from Perfecto? Incendiary to the right. Sumdai Young turns his attention. Oh! All three! Sumdai Young and Sumdai again and again and again. 11-4, 11 rounds straight, and a dominant overpass CT side.
It's not bad. A kill on a bomb plant with almost nothing at all. What's happening? What is going on?
They think it's down low.
There's no way. No.
They think it's down low. They're not going to lose. It doesn't matter, but...
They're not going to. They're still checking.